Okay, this is an interesting one. I think I'm just gonna rant. I'm gonna rant about life, and not in a complaining way, but I want to really tell you where my mental's at. I think I mentioned in another video recently. My channel has been copyright striked. Also has a copyright claim, and one of my biggest video got age restricted. And I looked this morning, and every single one of my videos is growing like maybe 10 per the growth of every single one of my videos is 90% less, like stunted, like every single one of them, the ones that don't break any rules. And makes me really nervous because I've invested so much into my YouTube channel, and just the feeling that it could all go away so fast and I could lose everything in such a moment of fragility. And also, it feels personally a little bit unfair. It feels like the belief I had before was if you just make better videos, they'll do better. And this is the first time I think in my career where it's like I've had videos not succeed, but this video was enjoyed by a lot of people. All these videos were enjoyed and receiving the viewership related to how much they were being enjoyed, but a third party, YouTube, basically interfered and prevented people from getting what they wanted. And this belief of just making better videos and that success will directly correlate is just, I like that belief. I like to think simply in terms of that, and I like to have that motivate me because it motivates me to make better videos, and not take shortcuts. But now that this has been disproven to me, it makes me a little bit worrisome about even being driven to make better videos because better doesn't get rewarded, even when it does get rewarded because of algorithmic things. Um, and that's a little bit concerning, but I think it comes down to this idea like I'm really afraid I'm going to lose my moment. I'm really afraid this is my moment. This is the biggest I'll ever get. This is the traction. And if I lose this, even though like I'm 22 years old right now, and I know perspective is perspective, but I feel like if I lose this, I'll never get anything close to this back. If I lose this channel, if I lose what I've been working for, or maybe it'll just magically go away. People will lose interest, and I'll lose the traction on the thing that I care about and have prioritized in my life the most, more than my mental health, more than my peace. Um, and I've been trying to find a way around this, but I think it leads to, this is not a video necessarily about complaining about YouTube, because this is just the sign of something. And I think it makes me question in my life my priorities, because truthfully, like, I do value, like people say, value yourself over everything else in terms of like your mental comes first. I see Kai Cenat talk about it. I don't, I value results with this over everything, including myself, including my happiness, including my peace. Um, so I personally get put in a position where if this fails, the thing that I've prioritized over everything, I have nothing to mentally fall back on that I prioritized, because everything comes second to this. I tell myself, hey, don't check social media, but I will if there's an issue related to YouTube or an issue related to my career. My career basically has the ultimate power to jeopardize everything in my life because it takes number one priority. And my mental, my peace, my happiness is second or third place at best. Um, but I'm afraid of putting, my mental, my happiness above YouTube or my career, because I feel like there's somebody out there that does that. Sorry, no, that doesn't do that. That puts their career above everything. And if I don't value my career, and my music and whatever I'm working on, if I don't value it as the thing to value the most, then I will be surpassed by people who prioritize their career more than me. And this is a very competitive game. I mean in general, like I feel like every industry is becoming extremely competitive, and if I don't prioritize work the most, somebody's going to prioritize work more than me, and somebody's going to beat me, someone's going to replace me. I think the fear of being replaced, especially with like AI integrating into everything and job market, like there's just this external like theme that replacement is coming. Um, and I have this fear of losing everything and being replaced. Because if I lose this channel, like, will someone just take over? Will someone just take an idea and take one of the ideas that I created and just replace me because their channel's not banned or their channel's not restricted anymore? It worries me. It really worries me because now my mental is spent more on how to prevent a situation I believe is unfair from happening in comparison to where I think it should be, which is just how to make better videos. I want to believe with my whole heart that making better videos leads to more success. Doing better, more high effort things leads to more success. Sometimes I get situations like this though that make me question that belief, but I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to sit here and get mad at YouTube. I don't want to feel like the system is corrupt because that's going to crush my hope. And I want to be hopeful above everything because hope is what got me to where I am. So I guess my conclusion right now is, hey, the system is 10% corrupt, you know? But if you put enough value, you can beat bad luck. And maybe that comes into what I should talk about more on this channel, which is like, I think the people who really succeed long term are people who are not lucky or unlucky. They're just people who were there. They survived the bad moments and the good moments. You know, I think I've had moments where I've been very lucky. I've had moments where I've been very unlucky. And to say someone made it because they're lucky could technically be true, but I feel like people actually succeed long term because of themselves. Because there will be streaks of bad luck and good luck in everything. And we're very lucky in one area for one period of time and very unlucky for others. But I have to tell myself this belief that might be wrong, it might be delusional, but I want to tell myself the belief. And I've been kind of wrestling with this idea because it's been on my mind for a lot, is if you want to succeed in something really bad, you will. Whether people think you fell off or whether you think you fell off, if you still care, you still will. That care has an ending. That care needs a conclusion. And those who have the desire to put the effort in and care are those who will achieve. No matter what people say. No matter if someone says you fell off or you're never going to make it or whatever you think, is a situation. If you care about being a great artist, if you care about being a successful artist, if you care about being a great YouTuber or a successful YouTuber, you will make it happen. You will make it happen. Care is what separates us from everything. So, I've been looking up stories from people like Casey Neistat, Gideon, who've experienced bad things happen to them or their channels, and they're still making it out. They got millions of subscribers. They found a way to even take the unfair things that maybe this platform has done and still succeed. I just hate feeling like it's over. I hate feeling like I lost it. I've had a lot of people tell me like that this is the moment and don't waste your moment. I don't want to feel like this is the only moment. I don't want to feel like I'm going to lose my moment. But situations like this, the reason this hurts me is it's because it helps me feel this negative narrative that things are over and you'll never be able to pass the moments that you've created. And I've just realized I don't even know. There's no logicality to that argument that you've lost your moment, that you'll never make it or whatever it is. There's no logic to that, because you could take anyone at any moment and say they're about to fall off. You could, right? But I think the only people that have really fallen off, to me, people I've looked at, are people who stopped caring about being on, which might not be a bad thing. Like people who found peace in not being the top artist. I think that, and I'm afraid of finding peace in my life, actually, because I feel like I'll lose the drive to succeed and be number one if I stop caring about being number one. And maybe wanting to be number one, wanting to be hyper successful is foundation off of an insecurity. And if I'd solved and fixed myself too early, I wouldn't be able to succeed as much. Because when I succeed, am I running towards something or running away from something? I might be doing both. But if I stop running away from my problems, I'm not running as fast, am I? Maybe I am, but I'm just worried. I'm really worried about what this means for my career, because YouTube has been my world for the past year. My biggest priority, above my music even. And I care about it. I still care about it. But I need to believe it is fair for me to care about it. And I don't want to change my mind. I want to believe it's fair. But sometimes the issues that I face make me question that. I'm going through a lot of other legal stuff too. In every single situation here, I don't think what I'm dealing with is entirely fair. I think I might have, broken some rules with the age restriction, but I don't know what they are. And I've seen people do worse and get away with it too. So I don't know. I'm lost. I'm really lost. I'm really lost, and I'm really scared for the future. And I want to say that, I want to feel that, and I want to express that. I'm gonna move with the same amount of effort I put before, if not more. But I need to believe that this is a fair system, and there's a way to avoid this in the future. I need to believe that this is fair, and I need to figure out a way to believe that this is fair. You know, I don't know, man. I look at some of the biggest creators in the world, and they've had videos that have got age restricted. They've gotten strikes. Gideon got banned from Twitch. Aiden Ross got banned from Twitch. If any of them viewed those situations like I viewed it, they wouldn't be where they are. They're all legends in what they do, you know? And I'm afraid I won't be a legend. I'm afraid I won't have the resilience, or I don't even want to say luck. I hope it's not luck. But I'm afraid I won't have the quote unquote luck to be able to bounce back from that. I'm afraid this is all I'll ever be. The voice in my head that maybe you were wrong all along is coming back. Maybe it is time to put the fries in the bag, because you just see so much of that. I've been met with so much of that, and I don't know. I'm gonna give it my all this next 6 months, 7 months. I don't want even to say the 6-7 joke, but I'm gonna give it my all these next couple months to really try to make some significant progress. And I'll be making a lot of decisions that some people will agree with and some people won't. But I work really hard to create what I create, and to come up with the decisions that I make. So um, I've been looking for other creators and when they felt lowest and how they got through it. And I think this is my low point, because this feels unfair, and I don't like life feeling unfair, you know? But I'm sure over the long term, if I do the right things, this is just going to be a minor roadblock. But I hope so. I hope so. And I hope I can find a lesson in this. I can't right now. I don't know the wisdom that I've gained from this. I can't find the silver lining um, for this right now, but I hope maybe in the future there will be some silver lining I can get from this. And I hope this just makes for an even better story. But right now, the story isn't complete. So I don't know. Just wanted to express that.